Married Redditors, what is the creepiest thing your spouse has ever done? 1. My wife was sleeping in the passenger seat on a late night drive home from visiting her family. Our very young kids are in the back seats out cold too. She suddenly snaps up and grabs the wheel screaming something about how I, the totally awake and driving just fine driver, am about to drive us off a cliff. She was full strength trying to turn the wheel to the right, which would have been bad. I started yelling, "No no no." Quickly realizing that wasn't stopping her, I had to full on NBA rebound the wheel with my elbows way out, and shove her very hard back into her seat. I managed to get a hold of her upper arm and used it to shove her into the door when she apparently still hadn't realized the reality of the situation, and made another grab for the wheel. There was a lot of cursing and screaming. It was not pretty. Once she figured out what she had done, she lost it and started gasp crying worse than I've ever seen. The rest of the drive home was pretty rough. 2. One night, my spouse sleepwalked into the kitchen, opened the fridge, and started having a full conversation with a jar of pickles. I'm still not sure who won that debate. 3. My wife is a sleep talker. It's usually just gibberish, but one night when she was asleep and I was watching a movie, she sat upright and looked at me and said, "Those clowns won't get my ice cream." Slapped me in the face and went to sleep. 4. I woke up once and he was laughing in his sleep. Then I heard our kid laughing in her sleep. She was upstairs and I heard her through the monitor. I was super creeped out the rest of the night. 5. Doesn't feel creepy now but it did then. My husband sat bolt upright in bed, still asleep, in the middle of the night, rummaged on the floor to find a small blanket. He then fluffed that blanket over me and stole the entire comforter out from under it. Immediately back to snoring. 6. She farted in her sleep and then laughed like a lumberjack. 7. Night terrors. Nothing like being woken up by a death-curdling scream. 8. My husband talks in his sleep. One time, he rolled over toward me, chuckled, and then said, "Your bones are finally dry." He never remembers what he says by morning but I'll literally never forget that one. 9. Before we were married she would take a lot of Polaroid pictures. Mostly of me sleeping, and a good amount of me eating too. There were others too, like me doing chores or whatever. Imagine a stalker's collection of photos. The person is never aware of the photo until after it was taken. She ended getting the first year's worth of photos framed for our house. 10. Husband drank too much after a long day, fell asleep in living room. Woke, spoke normally, stood to go lean against a wall, and pee like he was at a urinal while still speaking. Thankfully, we don't have carpet. We were a dry house for a long time.